Wigg is a theist from Missouri, pronouns are he, him, who says the Bible can be used as evidence to prove the Bible. Wigg, you're on with Matt and David Pakman. How does that work to use the Bible to prove the Bible?
Great question. Great question. I do appreciate y'all letting me on. Well, it's very simple. Which came first, science or the scientific method?
Well, science is the Greek word for knowledge. So in some contexts, science came first, but the scientific methods, which there are many of them, have been refined over a long time and are constantly being improved. So the basic ideas behind science existed before we had a method to sort them out.
Great. So you're saying that the scientific method was written down. Is that correct?
No, there is no the scientific method. There are scientific methods, and what they are repeatedly improved best practices for evaluating available evidence and data to reach a conclusion. Science is constantly evolving and changing and improving, as are its methods.
Right, but how is that change being rendered? Like, is it not written down? Or, I guess what I'm saying is, what book cannot be used as evidence besides the Bible?
Oh, this isn't about whether or not a book can be evidence. No book is evidence. It's the data in books that are the things that we would use to evaluate. No book is a testament unto itself to verify the reliability of its data, not a science book or a Bible.
So then how can the Bible not be used as evidence to prove the data in there? You said that it's a circular argument, but you're saying that it's a circular argument, but I mean, there's really no way to not prove it without the book unless you're doing the scientific method yourself. You just can't say that the Bible can't be proven. Go ahead.
Wigg. So first of all, I don't think I mentioned circular argument today at all, but congrats on recognizing that there is a circular argument fallacy. What I said was that science is a process that's constantly improving, and the methods are built, and no science book in any way confirms that what that science book says is true. It is the data and the evaluation of those data that confirm whether or not the information in that book is true. So not a biology book does not prove that the statements in the biology book are true, and the Bible doesn't prove that the statements in the Bible are true. That there has to be independent confirmation.
So that's kind of like putting the cart before the horse, though. And no,
Can
you
I
did
ask
not
a question,
say that.
Matt?
Absolutely. David's got a question for you.
I'm not a professional at this. I'm just, I'm just trying to make sense of the world. Isn't this sort of like saying Spider-Man's real because the Spider-Man comic says so? Nobody would accept that argument, right? I mean, is that not ultimately sort of what we're talking about here? You would need something from outside the Spider-Man book to tell us Spider-Man is or isn't real?
Great question. This is the thing about that. Like, that argument is kind of elementary to me.
Really?
The thing is because you got to look at, the thing is the scientific method is the scientific method, but when we're dealing with history and how to prove history, it's not a scientific method. If you look at the Bible, okay, of course the Bible is not how it was started. It had other resources that we use to actually develop it, just like the scientific method does to build upon the scientific method. You can't say that you can use the scientific method and use those information in those books, but the Bible believers can't. Like that, it's putting the cart before the horse. Our belief is based on the Bible first. Once we find out that it's something in the Bible that needs to be looked at, then we can go outside the source. You can't say that, okay,
Hey,
well,
Wig.
I can see something on the outside source
Hey,
and then
Wig.
come into the Bible. Go ahead.
Wig, if you start with the Bible, aren't you setting up a position where you believe something and now you're expecting somebody to prove that it's false?
You said I'm setting it up for them to prove that it's false?
You're saying you begin with the Bible first, right?
Okay,
Is that what you said?
I did.
Okay. And so you believe the claims in the Bible right off the bat, right?
That's not that's not the argument. The argument is
Okay.
not about belief. You're moving the goalposts. I'm not talking about my
Okay.
belief. I'm talking about
Wig,
actually
I swear I'm
proving your point.
completely unimpressed with you using moving the goalpost and all this other stuff. I didn't move a goalpost. I asked a question because you sat here and said we begin with the Bible and then we go outside of it to find stuff. I'm trying to get down to specifics. Name a claim the Bible makes.
Right.
Give me a claim that the Bible makes that you believe just because the Bible says so.
There is no claim that I said it because of the Bible says so. No.
Thank you.
But that's the thing.
Then the Bible, Wig, what you're saying is the claim of the Bible is insufficient on its own to confirm that it is believable and true, right?
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I
know.
said.
I know those aren't the words you said. I'm pointing out the natural understanding of what you said. Because if there's a claim in the Bible, you either believe it automatically or you find external confirmation for it. Those are the only two options to believe, right?
Okay, great. Okay, let me answer your question then. Miracles.
Hang on. My question here is yes or no. I'm building to something. So those are the only two options. There's a claim in the Bible. You either believe it automatically or you seek some sort of confirmation for it and then believe it, right?
That could be the method. I see where you're getting at. Okay, but yes.
It's not a method. This is a Wig, this is a really simple yes or no. Those are the only two options if you're going to believe it. You either believe it without additional information, or you believe it with additional information, or you just don't believe it. Those are the three options, right?
Yeah, but then if you believe it without information, then it's blind.
Wig, as I explained, I'm leading to something. Let me get there. Let me get there.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I've been dealing with atheism for a long time. You're trying to box me.
Yes, I'm trying to actually debate. Oh, thank you for the go ahead. Here, I'm going to put you on mute, and I'll take you off mute when I'm done talking this time. If you say that there's a claim in the Bible, and there are three options, you either believe it without additional information, or you believe it with additional information, or you do not believe it. If those are the three options, and you already said that you would not believe it without additional information, then you have already admitted that the Bible's claim on its own is insufficient to warrant belief, and therefore the Bible's claim needs external support. Tell me what I've said that isn't true.
Great. I'm glad you broke that down. Now, let me backtrack. You asked the question about.
I want you to tell me what I said that wasn't true.
What's not true is you can believe. I'm telling you, I'm retracting that. You can believe something without the evidence. The one thing that
I'm going to mute you again for a second here, Wig, because I want to make sure we're clear. I'm going to unmute you. What you're saying is you are now retracting your former statement, and you're saying that one can and should believe just based on what the Bible says, correct? Is that correct? I guess Wig doesn't want to talk anymore.
No, that's part of your statement on the end, not the correct part.
You previously said that you wouldn't believe things from the Bible without external. And when I pointed out the flaw in that thinking, you then you are now retracting that and saying that you would believe things without external confirmation, correct?
Correct. The miracles. Correct.
Okay. So I'm going to let David jump in here. David, Wigg says that he would believe things in the Bible without external confirmation if they're miracles. Have you got thoughts on that?
Well, I guess what I would want to know then is, how did he categorize the Bible as the one that he can believe without external confirmation? And would he apply that same standard to the Quran and the Book of Mormon and Harry Potter or Dianetics from L. Ron Hubbard? Like, somehow I'm wondering whether he also would believe those without external confirmation, or whether something about just the Bible has put it in this category for him.
Great question. Well, the thing is this: when it comes to the other sources, everything is, you could say, subjective. But when it comes to history, you can't be subjective with it. Historically, the Bible is true. You can't go around that.
How do you know that the Bible is historically true? Was the Garden of Eden real? Was the flood real?
Well, was marsupial real?
I'm sorry. Those questions are irrelevant.
Like,
those questions are an irrelevant dodge.
Come on,
Wigg. Those questions are an irrelevant dodge to what I asked you. I asked you if the Garden of Eden was real and if the flood was true. And you refuse to answer that. Do you have an answer?
Both of them are real. Both of them are real,
know?
Yes.
How do you know?
How do I know?
Yes.
I believe those.
Yeah, I don't care what you believe. I asked how you know that they're real. I know you believe them. I used to believe them too. I believed them. I believed them when I was studying to be a preacher. And then I learned that they're not real and that nobody has a good reason to believe they're real. But you're telling me that they're real. And I'm asking you, how do you know? And you are dodging and twisting and turning like crazy.
Well, there's all kind of historical writings of all type of civilizations that even actually wrote about the flood account. It's not just the Bible that came with the flood account. So you guys, come
that's
on,
a lie. Wigg, that's a lie. There are no written historical record. There are no written historical records confirming a global flood, and it's not scientifically possible. The Epic of Gilgamesh is not a global flood, and it is not stated as something that actually is true. The global flood cannot occur
as a flood. There's a lot of
I've lived through
there's a lot of mythology in everything.
Wigg, we're stopping right here, Wigg, because I have other guests waiting to call in, and you're now asserting that things are true and a matter of historical record when they are absolutely not and cannot be, as the flood of Nova, as the flood purported of Nova. We already know at the time that it would have happened. The Egyptians didn't seem to notice it, which is why there are Christians and Jews who don't think it was a global flood, but think it was a local flood that's been misunderstood. You are running around claiming that there are historical accounts of things, and that is simply not true. But even if there was a historical record of a flood, a global flood, that would not prove that the flood happened, and it would not prove that any of the other claims of the Bible was true. Because if I say, David's the smartest guy I know, Wigg is the smartest guy I know, one of those two things is definitely not true. They both might be false, but one of those things is definitely not true because they're in conflict. I'll give you the last word, Wigg, but if you're just going to say that I can guarantee you have zero expertise in history and zero knowledge of what is a matter of historical record, but I'm not knocking you for that. You are like every other theist that calls in to defend this. You have been grossly misinformed about the facts. But what would you like to say to wrap it up?
Well, number one, thank you. I do appreciate you for taking my call. Number two, I'll call in. We'll talk again, Matt. I'll concede it. Go ahead. Thank you.
Catch you later, Wigg. And
I don't know how you do this, Matt. I don't know how you do this.
Oh, that's incredible. That was a nothing. That was a simple little thing. Wait until there will be other callers. And as a joke, somebody's going to take this. I don't care. I've been told that I need to be kinder. And so instead of telling people to fuck off, I should say, how can I best help you to fuck off? And so I had a lot of fun with that joke. All right.
Hey, if you liked this video, why don't you click that like button?
And if you didn't
That's
like
what
it,
you would say.
subscribe.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't give me a chance.
There was such a long pause.
What are you on speed or
All right, let's
something? I barely had a
Let's
chance.
try again. Hey, I hope you liked. Hey, I hope you. Fuck. Hey there. I hope you liked that clip. Hey, I hope you liked that clipper just now, the one that you just watched with your eyes. If you did like it, why don't you click that like button?
And if you didn't like it, tell Jimmy to go fuck himself.
Hey, I hope you liked that clip right now. If you did like it, why don't you hit that like button?
And if you didn't like it, go ahead and subscribe anyway.